I'm Pragya. Welcome to my channel. Till now, we have been talking about the use of Indian Sign Language and the deaf community. But today, we will talk about the use of the script Braille and the blind community. For this very purpose, today I have my teacher from college, Dr. Alamelu here, who is an associate professor in the English department of IP College for Women, Delhi University. And she has agreed to introduce you to the script Braille. Uh, she herself is a person with visual disabilities and had taught me Braille back in college and introduced me to the concepts of disability and how to be more inclusive in our daily life. I hope that you can also learn from her like I did, and we can together create a more inclusive world. So over to Dr. Alamelu.
Hello Pragya, it's a pleasure meeting you after a few years of our class off from the classes, and thank you for choosing to do this on Braille, video on Braille. It's a pleasure always to meet our students doing such noble jobs. And now knowing Braille, yeah, for instance, Braille is a script, as you rightly pointed out, and the Braille enables people with visual disabilities to read and write. It ensures literacy for people with disabilities. What is literacy? Literacy is knowing to read and write. So Braille enables people with visual disabilities to read and write. While reading a script or reading a book, what all do you get to learn? You get to learn punctuations, spellings very well, which is not feasible while listening to an audio lecture or audio component, because in an audio component you pause both at the full stop as well as comma. There's no difference between full stop and comma, that you cannot distinguish whether it is a comma or a full stop in an audio component. But in printed script or in Braille script, while you read, so the reading skill helps you to understand the printed, especially the punctuation and spelling, and therefore Braille is very important. So that's the relevance of Braille today. And what the other important areas that Braille is more helpful is also labeling in the libraries or at your kitchen cabinets, to know different boxes where you have put masalas and dals. So the labeling them also is quite easy using Braille. And nowadays the microwaves, all of them come with touch panel. So people with visual disabilities can use Braille labels on in the touch panel, so that they can use these touch panel microwaves very comfortably. So there are ways in which Braille is useful even today, especially to make one's own presentation in the conferences or seminars or in the classrooms. So Braille is certainly helpful. So myself, blind since birth, I have been using Braille. I went to special school and learned Braille in the special school, and since then it has been part of my life, even to bring notes to the classroom as part of my lectures, along with PowerPoint presentations. So technology and Braille both are essential for people with visual disabilities. So now what I'm going to do is to just give you an idea of what is Braille, who invented Braille. So there's a man named Louis Braille in France, who was born in 1809. He himself turned blind at the age of 3, and later during his school days he invented the Braille script. And it was not popular during his times, but after his passing away in 1852, the French government took it very seriously and popularized the script. So it was initially formalized in France and globally recognized. And in fact, perhaps all of you know Anne Sullivan and Helen Keller, who are the first beneficiaries of this Braille script. Now I'm going to just do a mock video of teaching Braille to Pragya so that you all can have an idea of what is Braille and how it looks like. So this is the Braille slate, and you can see there are two flaps. In fact, you can close and open this, and this Braille slate, as you can see, there are holes in the Braille slate. Each hole is known as a cell, CELL cell, and each cell has 6 slots for 6 dots. So inside the cell. So I'll be explaining that. So each cell, for instance, has top right is dot 1, and middle right dot 2, bottom right dot 3, and top left dot 4, middle left dot 5, and bottom left dot 6. So vertically down right hand side is 1 2 3, and vertically what on the vertical left is 4 5 6. So this is how Braille looks like. And while writing Braille, why am I showing on the right hand side? Because while writing Braille, it's like a Hebrew script. So it runs from right to left. While writing Braille, we write from right to left. And when we read Braille, because the paper is inserted inside the Braille like this, and the dots fall on the back side of the paper, and therefore this is so while writing Braille, it's from the right hand side, right to left, and while reading Braille, it falls on the back side, and we read from left to right. So these are raised dots. You must have also seen in other places or in your schools, or
Well, hopefully somewhere. If you haven't, there's something really wrong, and that's why we are here.
yes, correct. This is stylus, and it has a sharp edged point. Using this stylus, we write Braille, and this is a Braille slate. I'm going to teach Pragya now to write her name. Remember the dots that I have spelled out just a minute ago. So it's 6 dotted Braille that I am teaching to Pragya. 1 2 3 on top, vertically right hand side of the cell, and left hand side of the cell is 4 5 6. Okay, Pragya, I'll tell you the dots for A B C D for your name, and you can write accordingly.
Yes.
Right.
Is this the right way?
Yeah. Holding the stylus. How to hold the stylus? Your index finger falls on the top of the stylus, and with your thumb and middle finger, you hold the middle part of the stylus, almost nearing the nail of the stylus. Yeah, like this. Yeah, Pragya, now just write your name. I'll give you the dates.
Okay.
Sorry, dots. Dots. P 1 2 3 4. Next R 1 2 3 5. A dot 1. G 1 2 4 5 dots. Y 1 3
1 3.
4 5 6.
Yes.
Next A dot 1. Okay. Right, very good. So I am going to show you the as Pragya has written from right to left, and I am opening the Braille slate, removing the sheet from the Braille slate, and reading her name. She has written it perfectly fine, correct. So this is her name. I'm reading from left to right, Pragya, P-R-A. So each letter has a shape. The way A, B, C, D has shapes, different shapes. Similarly, the Braille alphabets in English or any language also has different shapes, and those shapes are differentiated by dots. And as I said, these are in fact 63 shapes can be created using 6 dots. That is the very unique part of Braille.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, I wanted to know that in daily life, do people use typewriters to type braille,
Yeah.
or do they use script? Do they use the slate and stylus?
Yeah, of course, with technology, there are lot more instruments that have come up in Braille. Uh, okay, so one is Brailler. It's like a typewriter that you all use to type any printed material. Similarly, Brailler is used. It only increases the it's faster than braille slate, and therefore brailler is used. But after a while, when computers, now this is the age of computers and mobile phones, so iPhone also has braille component in that. So there's something called braille writer and orbit writer, yeah, orbit writer, ORBIT, orbit writer and orbit reader. Orbit writer is a device that contains few buttons, and each there are six dots for six buttons for six dots. And you can explore about orbit writer, how it works. You just have to connect that writer with the mobile phone, and whatever one other person, blind person, can uh, use the braille dots to type, and it will appear in print, so automatically on the phone. So they can, suppose someone finds it very difficult to type on the phone, that person can use orbit writer to type their messages and send them across to their friends. So whatever the person is typing, that appears in print on the phone. So same device can be connected to the computer, and so all that a blind person need to know is braille. That's all. Orbit writer and using orbit writer and orbit reader. So the difference is between orbit writer and reader is, when you connect the orbit reader, it the device can read and write. So whatever is in print on the phone or on the computer, it appears in braille in the orbit reader. So line by line, one can read. It is nowadays we have 20 cells orbit reader and 40 cells orbit reader. I would have loved to show you the devices. Maybe in the next video I can bring and show the. I did not expect, so I'll show you the devices in the next video. Orbit reader and orbit writer, and there is also a braille printer. So braille printer is used to print books, textbooks, and braille material. So this is a braille print. This is a braille book.
Sure.
Yeah, this is a braille book. So I got it printed from braille press. So I'm going to just show you, read and show this for you. Like it's printed on both the sides because it's used. Printer is used to do this. Innumerable soldiers and the dance of death at the battlefield by the goblins is grotesque, as well as a stark reminder of human mortality. So this is a braille book. So in day-to-day life, as Pragya had asked, how useful is this braille slate? Braille slate is very useful to make notes, and also make my, mostly for my lectures I use braille slate to just briefly make some points and so on. And as I said earlier, also at homes, in libraries, you can have braille labels. In that also one can use braille slates. And yeah, so this is the use of braille, and it's definitely helpful. As I said, this braille is what makes the blind person literate, so it's important to know that.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for introducing everybody to braille and showing the relevance of braille. As you have already heard from ma'am, braille is important with or without technology for a person with visual disability to navigate the world. So let's just talk a little more about braille and create inclusive world around us. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye. Thank you, ma'am.